Now, how do you read quickly and retain well? Well, reading quickly is a skill that students will develop, and it's something that you have to develop and something that you'll continue to get better at over time. So, here are some simple ways for you to improve your reading and to improve your retention. The very first thing, and it may sound goofy, is to read out loud. This may be difficult to do when there's others around you, or maybe you're studying in the library, but you can whisper quietly to yourself as you read. When you're alone, you can read out loud at your own comfortable level. The purpose of reading out loud is that it absolutely forces you to keep reading, and you will not start daydreaming. I mean, how great is that? It keeps you engaged in the material since you're actively reading it out loud, and active reading has better retention. The goal here of active reading is to prevent passive reading, and that's when you're reading a paragraph and then you finished it and you ask yourself, what did I just read there? So that's passive reading, and that's what we're trying to avoid because that gives minimal retention and often just leads to daydreaming. Now, the next thing is imagine that you're teaching in a classroom of students or you're tutoring a student when you're reading material or covering it. Act like a teacher. If you recall, when we talked about the research on different forms of studying, 90% retention when you can teach someone else. So act like a teacher. It's a fun way to keep yourself engaged, and it gives you a 90% recall. Now, not all the material that you read in med school is going to be all that exciting. And admittedly, some of it will be less fun or more challenging to learn. So acting like a teacher in your mind and drawing out descriptions as if you're trying to show them to someone. You know, you can sit there on paper and act like you have teacher or someone behind you, or you're teaching a class on a whiteboard is a great way to engage yourself, because teaching something is going to keep you both engaged with the material and also improve your retention. Now, the next skill you should implement is highlighting and underline as you read. Now, the dean of my medical school used to teach us, never read without a pencil or a highlighter in your hand. Having a writing instrument to comment and highlight as you read is a simple strategy to keep yourself engaged. Keeping yourself there with the underlining the words or highlighting sections keeps you in the words and keeps you from reading passively or starting to daydream. Now, a common problem that everybody has in the world, not necessarily unique to medical students, is how do you study when you don't want to?